Today I'm going to be reupholstering this dash out of a 94 F150. So first step is to clean this all up with some soap and water and dry it off. While I was cleaning this, I realized that I think that this dash pad can be removed. There are bolts on the back side here. One there, there, and then it looks like there's two in here where the stereo goes. So I'm going to take this off. It's going to make it a lot easier to put some new cloth on it, but I think it's still possible to leave it on here if you want to take all this stuff off, which would be basically the stereo, because you can just open this. But I'll link how to remove the stereo, or I might just include it in this video as well. To go ahead and remove this stereo, and there are special tools that you can buy to do this, and they might make it a little bit easier. I'm not sure. I fashioned up some little tools out of a coat hanger, and there's two holes on each side, so you just feed these in here, and you can see that they're kind of bent that way. And there are little clips on each side that need to be pushed in. Alright, so I think only one of these is bent well enough to be able to unlock this from its position in there. So I got this side unlocked. I could tell that this side was loose, so I moved the little hook tool to this side and got the other side unhooked. So now we can pull this out of here. So now we can just unplug everything. See here on the side, this is what these little coat hangers were pushing in. They were going in to there, and then obviously pull out on them, and they push this in so that you can just pull it right out. But these bolts are 3/8, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove these and get this dash pad off of here. All right, there's two more bolts that I missed before. There's one in here. You can see the stud for it there, and then there's one on the side here. So I've got all the bolts removed now, so now we'll just remove this. So now this should make reupholstering this a lot easier now. All right, so I've got my dash pad here. Here is the material that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's some kind of faux leather. It's pretty thick. So I've cut out a little section. I'm about ready to start gluing this on. Here is the fabric glue that I got. So we've washed this all off, dried it. So now we are ready to start applying the new fabric. All right, so I'm gonna start applying the glue here. I'll make sure I get around the edges very well. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. So now we can place this on. Get it pressed on there pretty well. All right. So now we need to cut this in this section to get this to go over here. I'm going to cut little corners in this so that it can fold over. All right. So now I'm going to start cutting a little bit of this excess around the edges off. All right, now that we have got this on here and the glue's starting to dry, I'm gonna put this back on to try to hold all this, to sandwich it on here to kind of hold it on while it dries. So we'll just go ahead and reinstall it now. So make sure that it's on here, kind of stretch it, massage it into place before we put it back on. Try to make it look halfway decent. So I'm going to make sure that all the edges are tucked in. And then we're going to get this into place. So I've pretty much got it into its place here. I'm gonna try to tuck in everything real good. All right, I think it actually looks pretty okay. Obviously, I would have liked it to be a little bit tighter. You can kind of see, especially right here, where it's not really pulled very tight. But I think it's okay. I think I'm fine with it. So I went with the black because I couldn't find anything that matched the maroon color here at Hobby Lobby. And the black goes with the steering wheel and everything that's over here, so I think it'll look okay. And if I decide I don't like it, then I'll just get one of those dash pads off of eBay or something, but with the glue and the fabric, under 20 bucks. This looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. So now we're just going to go ahead and reinstall all these nuts. All right, so we've got this back on here. We're all done with this part. You can see where the glue was laid down. So maybe if you maybe use some gloves and then go over it to smooth out before you put the pad on. You won't see that underneath there. Maybe it'll go away when it gets hot out, and it kind of just melts in there anyway. But for me, it's not that big of a deal. So we're all done for today. Thanks for watching. God bless.